Lazzy GG sub to the channel. Thank you, Lazzy GG. I'm just waiting for YouTube to catch up. Seeing that I'm live. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. Twitch is live. Come on. Still says sending data. Right, we're streaming. Okay, so I wanted to make a really quick video. So this isn't going to be a long stream at all. On how to quickly debloat Windows 10 or 11. In my free PC tuning guide, I've got a section on how to debloat Windows. What I use a tool by Freetimetech that you can download again for free and quickly run a cleanup and debloats it quick. So there's not, I don't provide many instructions in my guide, so that's why I want to elaborate a little bit with a quick video. All right, so first thing you need to do is you need to go and download the actual debloat tool. Choose the one you want from my guide. So at the end of this, you should be under 100 processes. I mean, I'm running quite a bit right now. I'm running NVIDIA, RTSS, Processor Sue, Norton, Afterburner. I'm running Chrome, Explorer. So I'm running quite a bit on top of this. I'm normally about 80 processes after I've debloated. So we'll go through that now. So I'll rerun the debloater on my PC. This is my live gaming environment. So you know that I'm not going to jeopardize that with something silly. So what I do now should be pretty solid. Okay. Come up with a good way. Oh, thank you. Right. So okay, let's go. So once you've downloaded your selected debloater, you extract it, and then you kind of get a subfolder in here. So you want to right-click that and run it as administrator. I don't know whether it's easier or harder for it to be in dark mode right now, but whether I can change. Maybe that's easier to see. Is that easier to see? Probably. Right, let's make it a little bit bigger. Make sure my big head's not in the way. There we go. All right, so the first thing you want to do, I mean, you can just do the easy debloater stuff and just do like extensional tweaks and things. And it should create a restore point for you, but if you want to create one before you start, just to make sure, just go and quickly go into System Properties and create a new restore point, Freetimetech debloat or something. Yeah, that will create a restore point for you, and then you can always go back to that if you have any issues. Go. There we go, done. That didn't take long, did it? All right, so once you're in here, what I normally do is I normally choose the debloat preset option, that one there. And what that does is in the fine tuning debloater, it presets a load of options, okay? So in here, it's preset them. So now what you have to do is go through these one at a time to make sure that they're right for your system. So you do not want to be taking off anything that you need. Okay, so first things first, let's start on third party. Do we want to install any of these things? No, I think I'm good, thank you. Communications, anything in there that I want? Not for gaming, no thank you. Development. I don't use this as a development environment, so I'm fine on that one as well. Documents, Notepad, Notepad++ is always good to have. I do like a bit of Notepad++. That's an excellent app. So if you want that one, if you don't want it, do the last option. So there's like 3 radial bullet points here. You can just check the last one where it does nothing. Hey Mike. So yeah, so pretty much you can leave that, or you can just basically don't want to install anything. So we'll just leave it as don't want to install anything right now. Games, don't think we need anything for games in here, or to want to install anything. No, leave all those. Microsoft Tools, you can add like OneDrive, Power Toys, PowerShell. No, we can leave all that. We can leave pretty much all of these, I think. I think the only thing it tries to install is that Notepad++ by default. Yep, I think that's all fine. Okay, all done. So next tab now, Windows Apps. So it gives you the option here right at the top to uninstall Edge, Edge Update, and Edge Web View to runtime things. I know that's tempting to take off, but I wouldn't. I've uninstalled this before, the Edge WebTime View runtimes, and it messes up a load of other Windows apps like Quick Assist. So if you don't want to use Edge, just leave it and don't use it. But no, it's tempting to remove Edge, but I wouldn't. You don't need Cortana, you don't need Microsoft News, you don't really need weather. There's the Get Help stuff and Microsoft Tips. Don't really need those, do we? I don't know what that does. Office, if you run Office, Word, Outlook, Excel, things like that, leave it. It's nothing highlighted there, so it's not going to do anything. Don't need Solitaire. Don't need sticky notes. Paint's quite useful for copying and pasting things into and editing them, so I'll leave that. Power Automate, leave that. Sniping Tool, leave that. Windows Security, leave that. Store Host Experience, I can leave that as well. Microsoft To Do, that's just a to-do list, don't care about that. So we take that off. Photos, we can leave that. Alarm clocks, I don't need an alarm clock on my computer. Calculators, sometimes quite useful. Cameras are useful. Windows Notepad's okay. Voice recorders, okay. Right, Xbox. So if you only play Fortnite, you can take off all these Xbox things. If you play other games, I'd leave them alone. So this is important. So I only play Fortnite, so I'm going to take all the Xbox stuff off. It stops it having like game bars and things. So, but if you play other games that use Xbox for authentication and things, then I just leave those alone. Leave them in the last column. Your phone, yeah, I don't need to connect my phone to my computer. Groove Music, I don't listen to music on this computer, but I use iTunes on my other one, so I don't need Groove. Don't watch movies on my computer. Definitely don't need Microsoft Teams unless this is a work computer or you use it for school. Web experience, leave that. Mail and calendar, I don't use mail and calendar on this gaming computer, but maybe if you've had an all-in-one computer, then you want to keep mail. You want store and you want terminal. Okay, so that's everything in that section. They're the Windows apps. So next we can go to privacy. I think we can leave pretty much everything alone in that. So leave them in default. Yeah, I think that's all fine. Personalization. Again, we can leave everything on there as an ambulance flies by my window. Anything in there that we don't want? I think that's all fine. OneDrive. Okay, this is a big one. So if you set your computer up with like a Microsoft account, often it will have installed OneDrive in your like desktop folder, your documents folders will all be in a synced OneDrive directory. If you then uninstall OneDrive, you lose all the documents and things in those folders, right? I can't remember what I've got set up on this. Is this a OneDrive one? No, I haven't. Oh, look, so I do have some OneDrive things on here. So if you use OneDrive, do not uninstall it because you'll lose all your files and folders, okay? So, I mean, you can get rid of it, but you have to basically back up all your documents, pictures, videos, everything in your like home directory, and anything on the desktop, move it somewhere else, uninstall OneDrive, and then copy it back to your new documents, pictures, everything else. So you can do it, but just be really, really careful on that one, okay? Link to this debloater, please. So all you have to do is you go on, it's those ones, like freetimetech.com, and then there's Windows debloater tools. If I click on that, I'll show you what it is. It just takes you to that one. You can just Google Freetimetech and then debloater and find it pretty easily. You just scroll down a bit, and then you grab the latest zip file. Look, I don't even have the latest zip file. Shouldn't even be running this. Should we actually go and get that latest zip file and run that? Should we start again quick? Or we might have to start again quick. Might be something new. Right, let me grab that. Downloads. Date modified. Extract all. Extract. There we go. 206. I was running 204 before. Right, I wonder what's new. How exciting. Yeah, it's fine. What's that complaining about? It's unsafe and it has been removed. Why? Tell me why, Norton. Why? Insight network threat. There may be indications that file is trustworthy and therefore safe. So you haven't actually found anything wrong with it. It's just a reputation thing. This is fine normally for me. Why is it doing it now? Norton just being overprotective. I think Norton's being overprotective. Norton is this option. It's just caution. So it hasn't found anything. It's just cautioning. Current category suspicious. Well, I'm not going to use it if it's dodgy. I'm definitely not using it if it's dodgy, but I don't think it is dodgy, because if I actually run let's removed it. Let me go back to the 24 one. If I actually run a scan on it, that's 2204. If I run a scan on this folder right now, let's see if there's actually anything bad in it. All right, Norton. So I'm going to run your own scan on it. Let's see what you found. Oh, look, no threats found. So it's blocking it purely based on potential reputation of the website. What do we think? Shall I stop recommending this? I mean, I've run it for probably years and never had a problem with it. But suddenly Norton doesn't like the website. What do we think, people? Put it through Virus Total. Okay. Is Virus Total an online web scanner? Or is it an app I have to download? Bill, tell me more. Virus Total. There we go. Choose a file. URL. Scan a URL. Okay, I'm doing this live, so everyone can see a threat assessment. What do I want? I want to go to Freetimetech. Freetimetech. Yep. Software. Windows 10 debloater. Windows 11 debloater. Okay, let's put that through it. One more search. No security vendor flagged at this URL as malicious. Clean, 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 clean. Question marks. Do you want to automate checks? That looks okay to me. There's nothing in there. Let's see if I can do the actual file itself. Copy link. Have a look at the zip. I think he wrote this, Jason. Oh, there's a malicious, suspicious thing. What does that say? Security industry community. What is that? What is it? It's a URL query. May differ from commercial off-the-shelf products. The company decides the particular setting with which the engine should run total virus. Okay. So pretty much all of these say it's safe, apart from somewhere called CRDF. And they just mark it as suspicious. They don't find anything actually in it. So they give credit to who runs it, who does this. Somebody told me that the Chris Titus actually, this is based on his stuff, or he actually did it. Oh look, what does that say? We based our tool on Chris Titus's tech GitHub PowerShell scripts as of December 2021 and Farag 2 Sophia script for Windows as of January 7th, 2024. Our tool is mainly a front end for the source scripts to make things easier to choose the many options. We add our own touches. Check updates for additions. This program only edits and reads from text files. Everything is done through text files, so you can modify every option and function data. So I've used this for ages. Never had a problem. So why is Norton saying it's naughty? What's been updated? Tooltips working on a video walkthrough. Oh, that's interesting. They're doing a video walkthrough. I mean, it doesn't look dodgy to me. And we've gone through all of these, and only one website is marking it as malicious because it's suspicious. All the other ones say it's clean. And that's on the specific file. It's not, and I've scanned the specific file in Norton and it couldn't find anything. I don't know. I think Norton's just being weird. I think Norton may be just being weird here. What should we do? Should we just go and run the really old Chris, what's his name? Chris Titus's one, which was not updated since 2021. Do we go and run Farag 2 Sophia script, which was updated this year? Or do we run this tool, which combines the two, which is basically just a front end for both of them? And we just tell Norton to shut up. What do you reckon? Norton doesn't like some heuristics because it uses scripts. Chris is currently updating the tool, is he? Okay. Well, let me know when he's done that, and we'll go and use it. But in the meantime, I think this is fine. In the meantime, so I'm gonna make Norton be quiet, because if it scans the zip, if it scans it and doesn't find anything, no threats found. That's the zip file, which we just undid. So we're going to undo it again. Yeah, replace it. It's done it again already. Oh, it's already taken it out. How can I mark it as safe? How do I mark it as safe? It's just a reputation thing. Options. Restore and exclude this file. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, well, I'm running it, because I think it looks alright. Norton scan can't find anything in it, and the only reason it's blocking it is because it's got a potential reputation issue. And we've just gone through the total virus thing looking at the domain for looking at the web page for this. Can we go back one? Can we go back one? Oh, that's too far. We went to here and it couldn't find any issues with that. 0 flags, so nothing wrong with that page. And Norton has scanned the zip file from that page and couldn't find anything in it. Then I think it's just being weird, do you think? Yeah, it's not really Norton antivirus, it's Norton antivirus 360. It's for 360 for gamers. It's quite lightweight. It's not too bad. I mean, when I've compared the latency before or after Defender and Norton 360 for gamers, it's almost nothing in it, and it doesn't really add any extra processes, so it's not too bad. The main difference between the Norton and Defender is Norton gives you a load of extra kind of tools. It gives you a password manager. It gives you the ability to scan the web for any hacks that have happened on your email accounts to see if any data logins and data has been compromised. So it's got some like extra tools built into it. But in terms of firewall and antivirus, I don't think there's really any difference between the latest Defender and Norton. Yeah, Norton. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I only run it on this because I got a well, I got a license free with the computer. So that's the only reason I really run it. I don't run it on my other environments. I don't bother installing it on my test environment, on my clean environment, on my new environment that's not on there. So yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Right, let's go back to the thing that's apparently bad. 6. Right, we're going to change to light mode again because I think it's easier for you guys to see. Right, where were we? I've forgotten where we were now. So let's run through them quick again. Options, debloat presets. Let's start with that one. So options, debloat presets, then fine tuning. So where do we get to? I think the only thing we were going to take out of here was we're going to make it none for install Notepad++, but I'd recommend that anyway, generally. Windows app, yeah, okay, let's go through these again. Uninstall Cortana, Microsoft News, don't need weather, don't need get help, don't need tips, don't need Office on this computer, but if you use Microsoft Office, leave that one alone, put it on none. Solitaire don't need, sticky notes don't need, paint I like, Power Automate leave, sniping tools useful, security leave, store experience host, Microsoft To-Dos is the to-do checklist. What else don't we want? Microsoft Windows clock, leave calculator, feedback hub. I'm thinking maybe feedback hub is actually used for something else, so I might leave that, to be honest. Some of these have dependencies on the other things. Definitely don't need maps. As I say, if you do any other games other than Fortnite, I'd leave the Xbox stuff. Uninstall Game Bar, Xbox Identity. Yeah, so if you only do Fortnite, you can take all these off. But if you do more games, then I'd leave them on. Phone link, no thank you. Why debloat Windows when you can have Linux? Yeah, Linux is cool. Uninstall Windows Media Player. Movies, I don't watch movies on here. Don't want Teams on here. What else? Don't need mail and calendar because I have that on another computer. Leave the store, leave the terminal. Okay, right, next. Privacy, I think it's all default. Personalization's pretty much default. OneDrive we've talked about earlier. I just leave that alone. That way, you know, if you're using it, then it stays. If you're not using it, then you don't have it already. Well, I don't know. You can uninstall it if you're not using it. Right, system. I think we can leave most of these alone. I don't need a high power plan. I've already got high power plans. Thank you. What else? What else? What else? Anything here? Disable Windows latest update. Do not get Windows updates as soon as they're available for your device. I like to control that myself. I leave it on pause for a week and then check every week or something manually. So I leave Windows updates alone, so I'm going to leave that alone there, I think. Everything else is the fine. That's fine. Anything else? Storage. Okay, that's system. Fortnite client for Linux. Start menu. No, that's fine. Wait, why has it gone slow? Hello? Why has it gone slow? Am I throttling here? No. Why is it being slow? Gaming. Seriously, why is it being slow? Oh, am I just, I'm being slow. I'm just not seeing it. Disable Xbox gaming tips, enable GPU hacks or hags, that's fine. Defender and security, we don't want to disable any of those stuff, I don't think. So that's all default. Leave that alone. Context menu, I think we can leave alone. Other, right, so I normally go combine, category panel, and start layout and default. So middle one and then left three. It's normally how I makes it look more like Windows 10, Windows 11. That's what I normally do. And I think we're done. So let's run through those again. So that's what that one looks like. That's what that one looks like. That one. System, pretty much was default other than the update stuff. Gaming, Defender, default. That's it. So when you're done, you can then output to PowerShell, press that bottom one, and then it will list the script that's going to run. So it's going to create a restore point. It's basically not installing anything here. And then it's going to uninstall some Cortana, Microsoft News, Weather, Get Out, Microsoft Tips, Office 365, Solitaire, Sticky Notes, To Do, Clock, Maps, Xbox, Game Bar, which is another Xbox, Xbox, Phone Link, Movies, Teams, and Calendar. Then it's going to disable tracking, diagnostic stuff, more tracking, advertising, Bing search. What's it next doing? Been enjoying your videos. Hey, Brutal. Thank you. Make sure you join the Discord for lots of goodies. So UI and personalization. Okay, I think that was pretty much all default, wasn't it? OneDrive, we're not doing anything with. Enable storage sense. Yeah, disable hibernation. Disable that. Approval mode. Delivery. I'll wait for network setups. Notice net. English methods. Remember we created a restore point at the beginning of this. I think it's going to create another one in a minute when it runs. But if we don't like, if this causes any trouble whatsoever, just go back to the restore point. Disable Cortana auto start, disable Teams auto start, good. Disable Xbox gaming tips, enable hags, good. They do a gaming debloater one, but I wouldn't recommend that. Some of the things that they do in their script, in their gaming debloater one, is kind of really outdated, like IRQ8 stuff. So that disappeared like 20 years ago, IRQ8 stuff. So yeah, don't do their gaming one, but generally their main debloaters for Windows 10 and Windows 11, they are pretty good. Enable audit process. So much for short. This is turning into a long. Disable network stuff. That looks fine. Looks fine. Yeah, that's just the visual stuff for the taskbar. Right, and then it gets into the functions of running it. So I think we're good to go at this point. We're good to go. So we've outputted the PowerShell. Now we click run that one. Cortana is dead. Microsoft will uninstall it in future releases. Thank goodness. Yeah, well, we're going to be getting Copilot instead. So right, so let's create another restore point. It's trying to uninstall Cortana. Sometimes this does get stuck on some things. I think disabling the sandbox, it sometimes gets stuck. And then if you cancel it and just basically run the PowerShell again, it goes straight through. So if you ever get stuck, just try and cancel it and rerun it. I don't know why it sometimes gets stuck. It's a bit weird. So I successfully uninstalled that. Disabling network power adapters. If I was doing this live on a streaming PC, when we got to the network stuff, you'd be disconnected. But because I'm, what's it throwing now? I love the way it blocks something after it finished. Yeah, Norton's being crazy at the moment. I think I might uninstall it. He's being annoying. I don't know why it's being so annoying. But it finished, so look, press enter to exit. I love the way it blocked it at the end. Oh dear. I mean, that looks all fine to me. All right, that should be done. And we've got multiple restore points, because look, if I show you the restore points, just in case, should have created some additional ones. So yeah, so there's the one we created before, and there's the other one that it created a whole half an hour later, or 27 minutes later, because it took me that long to actually run it. Wow. Bring back Clippy. What are you guys talking about? What's the tweak? Tweak? What tweak? Are you talking about tweak? Right, so yeah, if you wanted to go back to either of those before it ran or the one we created earlier this morning, yeah, you can just go and restore if you don't like these. You don't like what it did, it messed something up. So press enter to exit and you're done. You can close that and reboot. So let's reboot quickly. Cold recently, really cold recently. It's not bad for a computer room, but it's bad for me. I need to probably sit here with a little blanket on my lap or something. I don't know, but all right. So process-wise, hey buddy. Sorry, I'm streaming. What's up?
I was gonna ask if we could start lunch early.
Yeah, I'll try and do lunch early. Okay. Yep, no problem. So we're down to like 78 processes now. I think we started just over 80. Normally Windows runs about 120-ish when you first install it, and then you add more apps and things, and it goes up even higher. So it's going up to like 80 now. But I'd run this already before, so which is why it hasn't really gone down very much. If you're going to want to go lower than this, then you're going to need a custom OS, frankly. The other trick you can do to make your processes go lower, so by default, Windows kind of groups your services, and so it can group them more efficiently, these processes, if you change something called the split thing. Where is it? Hang on, where's my PC tuning guide, which you guys all need in your lives? A new one out yesterday. Service split. Where's the service split stuff? Bum, 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 bum. Wait, have I gone too far? I think I've gone too far. There we go. Service host split threshold. So in here, if you basically set this setting depending on the size of your memory, and that can lower the number of processes you've got. So if we go into our registry, we grab that, reg it, we go stick that path there, enter. So in there should be something called split host threshold. And what you want to do is you want to have this set to, depending on the size of your memory. So I've got 16 gig of memory in this PC. So the number I want is 1,000,000 for hex, and that sets it to 16 gigabyte. If you've got 32 gig, you set it to 2,000,000. If you've got 64 gig, you've got set it to 4,000,000. And then reboot, so set it to the right number, reboot, and that will then lower your processes. It will more efficiently split your services into less specific processes. So that will lower your number as well. That will lower this processes number. I think that's it really for debloating. Shall I run through my scripts quickly, just so that people can see what the quickest way of doing it is? I know my scripts aren't the biggest thing. The guide is the biggest thing, right? 95% of the goodies are in the guide. The scripts are pretty much just a quick way of doing some basic tweaks. So you just go into Windows, tweaks, and you just run through 1 to 4, right-clicking and run as administrator. That's what you do. So make sure you create a restore point first. So I actually put a shortcut in to create a restore point here. So just to make it a bit easier, pre-pack 66, and it just creates a restore point. Another one. Yeah. I mean, I can show you my fresh Windows 11 environment. That's got absolutely nothing installed apart from Windows 11, and then I install Latency Mom. Right, so once you've created the restore point, right-click the first one, run as administrator. Done. Press spacebar. Stop the services. Now, I've changed this recently so it doesn't disable services anymore. It just puts them to manual. So you can still use the functionality if you want to start the services, or they get called by something else. It's just that they're basically then just not running. BCD edits, run that. That helps with turning off things like high precision event timer. That's press spacebar on that. MM agent. So basically you want your MM agent to look like this at the end for Fortnite or most games. MM agent. You want it to look like that. So you're basically turning on things like memory compression, because I've benchmarked that and it is actually better, smoother. So people tell you to turn that off. Actually, please test it. So yeah, by default, most tweakers will have all these as false, and they won't bother increasing this either. But I've tested all these combinations, benchmarked them in Fortnite, before and after, and that is the best combo that I found. So that's what I'm trying to do with the MM agent script, to set it to all those. You run all those, so that's what I'm starting at. Wait, there you go, that's what I'm starting at. I don't know why it doesn't like these commands. It says it doesn't like them, because it still does it. So I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe because it's already enabled and then it doesn't like the fact that it's enabled. I don't know. But it seems to work, so yeah. And then restart. Or before you restart, then you've got to choose whether you want to tweak your mouse or not, or undo the tweak the mouse things. So if I show you what's in these. It's just some basic reducing the kind of buffer for the keyboard and mouse before it actually does an action. So by default, these are 100 by Windows, and I've lowered it to 40. I did have these at 20, but some people started saying that when they were W keying, it was take their hand off the keyboard, and then it was still W key. So, so I've upped these a bit to a bit more sensible levels instead of 20, but you can experiment with these if you want. And that's just some basic stuff. But if you kind of want to undo these, I've got another script to just completely put them back to Windows default. So I mean, I don't. This is my gaming environment, so I don't test these on here because I just run a controller. But I test these on my test environment, so they're the ones for those. And in here you've got an option to set Win32 process separation. I found the other day with benchmarking that DX12 prefers high numbers and performance mode prefers low numbers. But if you don't want to do those, then I'd recommend just typing in adjust here, going into here, and then choosing between these two. So I choose this one, programs, for DX12, if you're running DX12, and I'd recommend this one if you're running performance mode, background service. They're the closest ones to the extremes. Like, these two are a bit kind of beyond here, that one's there and one's over here kind of thing. That was the scale. This is the low end of the scale. Then performance mode will be about here somewhere, and DX12 will be about here somewhere. So you can either set them a bit higher or lower than these two, or you can just choose these two. This is live, so you don't need to reboot for these. You can test absolutely dynamically. I mean, if you don't like it, you just click on the other one, click apply, and then you're done. So I run performance mode, so I'm gonna run that one. Done. So let's set it to 20, so a nice low number compared to like 42, which I think is the other one. Right, so that's it. That's it. Then you just reboot. So I'll reboot again. I'll be back. So I'll just put my Twitch in there, but I need more people watching my Twitch because I'm not affiliated yet. I need to get above that average 3. And the last couple of days I've been about between 6 and 10 on Twitch for average, which is really, really good. But I need more people on there so I can get affiliated and people can sub, and then I can play with subs as well. So yeah, this is my latest guide that I had on yesterday. So once you've done all that, well, that's quite high. What's going on? What's going on there? What did we just do? Oh, it's because I'm running Chrome. Naughty Chrome. Yeah, that is dropping down now, down to 80. What's my latency mon? So latency mon isn't particularly accurate, but it does give you a good indication of the direction you're going. So you basically want to run latency mon, stats tab, and then keep an eye on the average measured interrupt to process latency and the average measured interrupt to DPC latency. And if they're coming down as you tune, then you're going in the right direction. I mean, as I say, it's not an exact tool. I have an exact tool for measure latency. It's called NVIDIA Reflex Latency Analyzer, and it's built into my monitor, and I can do it in game and actually test how long it takes to click the mouse to see it on the screen. So I have an exact tool for measuring latency in game, but this just gives you a general idea of how you're tuning. So if I wasn't running anything normally, this would be about 1.4, and that will be about 0.46 or something. So that's coming down as we go here. So yeah, so if you can kind of tune, but the vast majority of getting these latency down is done in the BIOS, not in the operating system. Tell you what, shall I boot into my absolutely clean Windows with Windows 11 with absolutely nothing installed on it at all? And you can see, if you remember these numbers, right? About 1.5 and 0.5, yeah? 1.5 and 0.5, remember that. We reboot into my completely clean Windows 11. All right, so this is completely clean Windows 11. Same computer, just dual boot. So I can go into my gaming environment, I can go into a test environment, I can go into a completely clean Windows 11 environment. And I find this really useful for for comparing as well. So there's been absolutely no tweaks on this Windows 11 at all. All I've done is install fresh Windows 11 Home 23H2, and I've installed Latency on, and I've turned on the high performance power plan. That's all I've done. So I've done no debloating, no tweaking, no anything, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you Task Manager. Why is somebody trying to call me? Oh, it's probably car insurance renewal people. So this is completely clean Windows 11. Look how many processes there are. So there are 122, 126 processes by default. That's just Windows. I haven't done the services tweak, the split services tweak, haven't done anything. All I've done is, so all this shares is the same hardware and the same BIOS changes. So it's running like overclock memory, and it's kind of disabled virtualization, it's running disabled C states, it's running disabled hyperthreading. So it's running all the same BIOS things as my other environments do, but it's just pure Windows, right? So no tweaking whatsoever. You can't see the process? Oh, you can't see the process. Why is that like that? That's interesting. Is it not updating the time either? No way. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. I'm not duplicating the displays. I'm not duplicating the displays. That'll be why. I'm extending the displays. Sorry, guys. Yes, because I haven't done anything on this computer. That's why I didn't know. I've never streamed from it. I didn't know. Sorry. Right, all right. So we're back. There we go. You can see the processes now. Thank you. So look, it started on 120, and now we're kind of crept up to 138, 140. So it's creeping up. So I don't know whether it's kind of downloading something in the background or whatever. I don't think it's downloading anything in the background. The Ethernet's pretty bored. All right, so let's have a look at the latency. So remember that 1.5, 0.5 average from my tuned environment, tuned Windows. Let's see how horrific it is with just pure Windows 11 on its own. There we go. So let it settle a bit. It's coming down. 1.7. Well, it's gone up to 1.8 now. 0.7, 0.6. So not doing any tweaks in the operating system at all. No debloating, no tweaks. You're actually running pretty good latency out of the box. So it just shows you how important setting up your BIOS properly is, because that's the only thing those two environments are sharing, is the BIOS and the physical hardware. And the fact that this is, most of the people that come on my Discord have numbers way worse than this when they begin. Way worse, like 3s. I've seen 9s here, and like 3s here. So it's not the operating system that's probably messed up and being slow. It's your BIOS settings. So this is why when you kind of buy a script from a tweaker that does it all for you, that's only doing your Windows system and stripping it down to reduce your latency. The vast majority, the best tweaks are in the BIOS. Turn on your XMP, turn off C states for your CPU, turn off hyperthreading if you have more than 8 cores, 8 or more cores. If you don't, then probably leave hyperthreading on if you're running 6 or 4 here. For cores. Disable virtualization. What else? Yeah, tweak your fans so they're running pulse mode and they're running a bit more aggressive. If you want your memory a bit more stable, disable fast boot in the BIOS. What else? There's not many things you have to do in the BIOS, really. There's like 5 things-ish that you could do in 5 minutes and you're going to get your latency massively lower. So as long as you're running, watch what happens if I change a power plan though. Look. So that's the other thing. Power plan. Choose a power plan. Right. Okay. So we're going to go back to balanced, yeah, which is kind of an energy saving one. So if I stopped now, I reran again now in balanced. All of a sudden the numbers should be a lot higher. Look, 2.9, so we're 2.5, 2.4. So we've gone up a lot, 1.16. So power plan is important, but to be honest, high performance or especially ultimate, if you can unlock ultimate, that will really get these numbers down. So your BIOS and your power plan, and you can just choose default power plans. Yeah. All right, is Intel speed shift worth disabling in BIOS? So, yeah, I'm streaming. So I fix my clocks at 5 gigahertz. So I actually fix them here, so they don't go up and down. So I have all core 5 gigahertz. So I think power plan makes a bigger difference if you were still boosting up and down, but it doesn't make a huge difference to me whether you have bitsum, ultimate, high performance and things. But yeah, if you're not overclocking, then yeah, I think Intel speed shift, doesn't that keep the frequency up a bit more? I think it does. So, or disabling it, keep it higher. I can't remember. I haven't played around with that for about 5 years because I've just fixed my overclock. But probably when I get my next computer in a month or two, because it's with the latest top of the range Intel processor, I'm probably just not going to fix it. I'm probably going to play around with that a bit more. So ask on my forum and see what those guys do and see whether it's better or not. I'm going to have to cut this short at the moment. I know I've got a ton of people watching, 23 people, but I need to go and make lunch for my son before his next lesson, because he homeschools with an online academy. So I need to go and make his lunch in a sec. But I think we covered debloating, and we think we covered the importance of doing BIOS changes, because as I say, look, if you go higher performance and you set up your BIOS right, then you're 90% of the way there. All the other Windows tweaks are nowhere near as significant as doing your BIOS properly and just choosing a non-energy saving power plan. They're the ones that will get your latency down the most. I have interrupts 4 and DPC 1. Is that good? As I say, this is pure Windows, and I haven't even tuned this, and I'm on. Right. Reset these numbers. It was about 1.7, 0.7, wasn't it? Gone up a bit now. It must be doing something in the background. But yeah, so that will, yeah, if you've got interrupts 4 there and DPC 1 there, you definitely need to get your process latency down. Definitely. You must be running a lot of stuff in the background, or you haven't set up your BIOS well. $120 processors of Ultimate Power Plan, they still have an average latency of 3. What for your process latency? Yeah, as I say, go and have a look in your BIOS. Turn off hyperthreading, turn off CPU states, make sure your XMP is on, disable virtualization, that will help a bit. And that should get you most of the way. Honestly, should get you most of the way. Right, yeah, loads of people watching, but as I say, I need to go and quickly make my son lunch. So if you're not on my Discord, they're the links. Go and grab my free tuning guide. It's actually quite snappy. Windows out of the box. That's actually pretty snappy, actually. Pretty responsive. It's Windows 11. No tweaks at all. That's actually pretty fast. which surprises me really. But yeah, it does surprise me. Need virtualization for Android emulators. Oh, okay. Yeah, and virtualization also turns off core isolation as well. So I can't run core isolation. But I can't run core isolation anyway because I run HID USB-F for overclocking this thing. And that actually disables core isolation too. So I couldn't run that core isolation anyway, even if I wanted to, because I have to overclock my controller. Can't not overclock your controller. Unless you've got an Xbox controller, then literally you can't overclock your controller. All right, I'll leave it there. Sorry guys to be short, but I'll probably stream this afternoon as well if you guys want to see something else. I can play with something else. So just make some requests on my Discord if you want me to test something, benchmark something, a setting or a tweak or something, and then I can FPS benchmark it and I can latency benchmark it for you as well. So yeah, I'm going to go eat. Core makes problems with Apex Legends or whatever games uses anti-cheat. Yeah, okay, so turning it off isn't such a bad thing anyway. Hey, do you know how to set your native resolution native? Always native ultra with only black screen. Can I use display port as well? Normally you just go into NVIDIA control panel. Green continue. Look, you can tell this is a brand new Windows. Never been in here. Look at the version of the driver. I've literally done nothing of this environment. 457. Wow. Change resolution, and whatever the says native there, you just click on that. That's normally how you set native resolution. You just choose it through the NVIDIA control panel. It will say brackets native. Oh, you get kicked if it's off. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Because then you can't overclock a controller, which is annoying. With HID USB-F. Okay, so you have to have virtualization on, and then you have to have core isolation on. Okay. As I say, core isolation won't work if you're running the HID USB-F to overclock controllers and stuff. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. Right, I really got to go and make lunch. Sorry, guys. All right, I'll catch you after lunch. Bye for now.